What's up, gang? We are talking book number 2, Dungeon Life Boogaloo, right here. Imagine the copy of the book right here in my hand. I don't have it, but here's a nice picture of it for you yourself. Okay? Hopefully, this is coming through all right. I'm trying to record on a new laptop. It's not the strongest bus, it struggles a little bit, but again, we're talking Dungeon Life 2. Dungeon Boogaloo, written by Khenal. Okay, this one is from what did I say it was? Royal Road. I remembered. Did you remember? RoyalRoad.com, or should I be RoyalRoad.com? Fantastic continuation of the story. We are back with the DM. He has been a growing. He took out Neverrest. I've been playing a lot of Civ 6 as a result of finishing these books, by the way. Actually, I haven't finished book number 4 yet. I still have not gotten to number 4, but I will be as soon as I can get my hands on a copy of it, finishing up this story. Just got done with a different 4-book story. You can check that out over here. That is the Tower of Babel series, but that is not what we're babbling about today. Today, again, we were talking about Dungeon Life 2, Dungeon Life Boogaloo. Get it through your head. The game is afoot. Okay? Another dungeon is out there. It was mentioned a few times in the first book. He set the stage a little bit. It needs some help. This one's not evil. It's not out to hurt anybody. There's nothing going on with that. Nothing like that. But what we do have is we have a man hitting his microphone. And as a result, we have a little bit of strife that we've got to get through. We've got to grow as a person as we hit our microphone again. These things happen. And essentially, what we go through on these videos, nice segue. How is the readability of the book? In this case, 2 out of 5, which is good. A little bit of engineering stuff that it would help if you knew that, but not extremely pivotal, not going to break the bank if you don't. You should still be able to get through this book without too much trouble, but it is long. It is long. It is long. You think this is a big book? You think these are big books? This one absolutely sucks. Don't ever buy this book. I need to put it in the local library, the little library on the street. Maybe somebody else will enjoy that, but it's a bunch of crap I already knew. Anyway, big book, 870-something pages, just under 900 pages. Whopper of a tale, a triple whopper. Okay? Go to BK, get a triple whopper. You'll finish that before you finish this book. All right? Still, though, worth the trip. Worth the trip. But I was happy when book 3 was smaller. I have to admit, I was happy. But then when book 3 ended, I was like, I wish you were a little bigger. You know, size matters to me. Sorry. I was going to say it. Cover art. Just real quick, we'll judge the book by its cover. Again, it's right here. It's right here. Right here. Right here. It's right here. It's right here. It's right here. Or is it over there? It's right here. Fantasy cover art. Nice artwork. It's got the scions of the other dungeon on it. Harbor something or another. I can't completely remember it off the top of my head. I've read this book about a month ago. Not going to lie, this was one of my June reads, not one of my July reads. Finished book number 3 in July, but finished book number 2 at the beach in June. We continue with Freddie and Mercury. I still can't remember what her name is, so to me, she's Freddie and Mercury. They're still a pivotal part. They discover their classes in this, so they realize who they are as people. Elf Guy keeps making appearances. We meet the head of the Adventurers Guild. Can't remember exactly what his name is, but he's a good character as well. Most of the stuff focuses on a couple of dungeons. Okay, the DM ends up with a small Scion dungeon that isn't as isekai as he is. It's just a regular dungeon in this particular world. It's not another human brain transmitted into a dungeon. Okay, so there is that. Her name is Violet because of the violet glow of her core. Each one of the dungeons has a core. That's a whole part of the story. He helps her grow because of a problem within his caverns based off of a monster that we meet in the first story when we meet his high priestess. We also have our adventurers, the undead archer, ranger, Yvonne. We have the gnome, or dwarf rather. We have the dwarf stout warrior, the mage, and then eventually the high priestess goes along with them and becomes part of the crew. We also, further on, we meet the governor of the town, the Lord of Fordock. I can't completely remember if that's only in book 3. Again, book 2 is so long, it could have been 2 and 3 by itself if you split it in half. So who's counting? But if we don't meet him in book 2, we'll talk about him when we review book number 3. Again, we're talking about Dungeon Life 2 by Khenal. Book covers right there. The characters go through a lot of growth. Again, the kids find their way in life. Yvonne really settles into her new role. The high priestess continues to grow. The dungeons continue to grow. There's strife. There's turmoil. The antagonist, again, is just circumstance, as circumstance always gets in the way of real life or dungeon life. Okay? The characters, again, I would give this about a 3.5 out of 5. They still need to grow. We're also more focused on scions. We're more focused on... Actually, you know what? No, let's go back. 4 out of 5. Because we get to see more of the scions. We get to grow with the scions. We get to experience their inner monologues, the way they interact with the other scions, the way they interact with the dungeon, the DM. It's interesting. It was certainly not what I was expecting, but very cool to watch them become their own selves. Eventually he gets denizens, and those denizens can talk. And so you've got ratkin denizens, you've got spider denizens, and they form their own little communities and everything within the dungeon. Very cool concept. This whole thing was a very cool concept, and again, as a result, has made me play Civilization 6 multiple times. I'm cheap and don't have Civilization 7, and I haven't heard very good things about it anyway, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Dungeon Life 2, Dungeon Life Boogaloo. Should you pick it up and read it? If you read book 1, obviously continue the story. If you haven't read book 1, you need to go back and look at the review for book 1 and decide on whether or not that's what you want to do. You cannot pick this book up and read it without knowing what happened to book 1. Most books are like that. So this one isn't any different. And also, why would you randomly read an 890-page book without having any knowledge of what the first 300 pages had anything to do with? You must be a madman. Are you mad? Are you crazy? You must be. Plot. Again, the strife of a second dungeon causing strife on the main dungeon. That dungeon has to make a decision to save the other dungeon. As a result, we get a decent growth book. That's what book number 2 is. It grew in pages, grew in everything. It was about growth. That's what book number 2 is about. Book number 3, we get into the actual antagonist. We get into what was mentioned in book 1 as to why the high priestess ended up in the dungeon in the first place. I keep calling her the high priestess because I can't remember what her name is. My bad. Read it if you read the first one. If you like random isekai stuff, read it for sure. 3.5 out of 5 because of the length, and really mostly because of the length. Very long book, very long read. Even as someone who reads about 100 and something pages a day, it took me several days to finish that, and I'm used to finishing a book in a day and a half, 2 days. So you will be investing some time in it. Is it worth it to get to the next part of the story? Absolutely. Okay, I still don't know how this story ends, so whether or not it's all a wash at the end, I don't know. But Dungeon Life 2, solid 3.5 out of 4 out of 5. Really, if we round it up, it would probably be a 4. I know a lot of people gave this a 4.5, 4.6, but I have started to really not trust reviews from other people because I don't know if they're bots or not. So, I'm flesh and blood, and I know what I'm about. I'm about Dungeon Life 2, Dungeon Life Boogaloo. Can't make that joke enough. You should check it out, and as a result, find out what you're all about.